Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Tristine Fleming. This is my husband, Jared. And some of you may be aware that on the 4th of July, I was not celebrating freedom. I was in jail. After I confronted Timmy about her lying, she then proceeded to scream down the stairs, "I am not a liar." And I said, "You're the biggest liar I've ever known." He actually said, "Get out of here. The marriage is over." And I started walking away and I was like, I ain't going anywhere. So I walked back in the room and I said, "I'm not going anywhere. You get out of here. If the marriage is over, you leave." He's like, "I am leaving." And so he yelled at his mom to go pack.
To get her stuff.
To get her stuff because they were leaving. I know. But it's got a good ending.
It's got a beautiful ending.
It's got a good ending. Bear with us. Bear with. It does have a great ending, so please bear with us. At this point, this is where everything starts getting really kind of shady. I decided that I was just going to be a bitch and take the car from Jared so that they would have to walk or whatever, because I was just so mad. So Tavin and I got in the car and we started driving, and we ended up pulling off to the side of the road at Dairy Queen and called my friend Anne. And seriously, I mean, there's a lot of things I wish I would have done, but again, it's one of those situations where I'm kind of glad it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where Jared and I would be today if this had not happened. This is the honest to God truth.
If it didn't happen the way that it did, we would not be here telling the story.
Like in jail, I kept thinking, I shouldn't have done this. I should have just stayed away. I shouldn't have gone back. I should have this, that. But I'm really glad that I did what I did. I'm glad I came back because I was trying to be nice. I thought, I can't take the car from him. He has to go to work tonight. I can be a bitch, but the thing is that I can think about things clearly and almost immediately know I'm doing something wrong and I need to resolve it. Anne said, "I'll come home. I'll meet you at my house." And she was at 4th of July party at her mother-in-law's. And so I said, "No, I just don't know what I'm going to do." And Tavin was crying frantically and he was very upset. And before I left, Jared was livid. Like, he had the car door open on the passenger side where Tavin was sitting before I left. And he was so mad, I could tell he wanted to punch me. Like, he was ready. But he knew that if he was going to punch me, he'd have to reach over Tavin to do it. So you could see it in his eyes. Like, he wanted to hurt me. And so I decided, I kept telling him, close the door. And he kept saying no. And I said, fine. So I started backing out of the driveway with the door open with him standing in it. Because I was really pissed off. He wasn't listening to me and he was very mad and he was scaring Tavin and blah. Then I just decided, like I said, to come home and give him the key. But what I did is I told Tavin, I said, "Tavin, here's the key to the car. We are going to let Daddy have the car." But I said, I don't know what's going to happen to us. And we need to ask Daddy if he's going to take care of us. And
I had fully intention to keep on taking care of them. That never stopped. But
he had full intention of taking care of us. I had full intention never to let it end, but okay. See what he did? He didn't mean to say that.
Okay.
If you didn't know him the way that I do, you'd be like, wow, he was ready to go. So I came home and I told Tavin to sit there because I had no intention of escalating the fight. I just wanted to know, what was going to happen to me and Tavin. Where should we go? What are you going to do? Because I can't stand not knowing. And so I wanted to, if he was going to leave and take the car, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't have a car. I don't have money. I have nothing. I have no food. I have nothing. So I came home and I sat on away from him. I had my drink as usual, and it was sitting next to me. I seriously cannot tell you what escalated this next part. I couldn't even tell you. But whatever I said irked. Oh, I slammed the door on his mom because she was back and forth and she was saying stuff and Jared was getting mad at her. Jared was mad at both of us. Like, Jared was like right in the middle of a conflict between me and his mom.
Yeah, at this point, the thing between mom and Tristine was escalating a bit more than me and Tristine. And
It was.
I was pissed at both. Because then at that point, neither one of them was listening to me for them to stop.
Yeah. And so I don't know what happened next to make Jared come lunging after me. But rather than I knew he was coming at me to like hit me. But rather than hit me, he took my drink that was on the table and he literally punched it across the room. And that scared me and it scared Tavin. Tavin started crying and now here comes Timmy again. After we had asked her, he had asked her a dozen times, get out of the house. You know, like, just go wait for me outside. He kept saying, get out of the house. And she wouldn't listen. Yeah. She's like piddling around. She's getting into the conversation and like, she just wasn't listening. And like, first of all, this was a conversation between me and him. And, you know, somehow she like got in there. And now here she comes again. And she comes in between me and Tavin and she's like grabbing
she's reaching
for
him. Tavin to get him out of this situation and whatever.
I don't think she was trying to get him out. She was trying to comfort him, but at the same time, it was scaring him. And I was like, Timmy, leave Tavin alone. And she's like, no, he's my grandson. I'm like, I don't care. You need to get out of here. And Jared's yelling at her, you don't want to hear Jared scream. Like, it makes the windows shake. I'm not kidding. He has got like such a booming scream when he's so mad that
and you can ask anybody in my entire family. They'll all agree with that.
It's really scary and really loud. And so when he screamed at his mom to get out, it scared Tavin. Timmy went to try to comfort Tavin again in between me. At this point, I said, get out of here. He's yelling at her to get out of here. And finally, I just said, Timmy, get out of here. And she said, no. And I looked at her. I said, get out of here now. And at that point, she crossed her arms and she said, I'm not going anywhere. Bam. At that point, I was like, well, if you're not going to go, then I'm going to take you out of here. At that point, I wasn't going to like push her, and I didn't push her. I literally just went to go put my arms on her shoulder to guide her out of the room. At that point, Jared lost it. He lunged at me.
I lunged at her and pushed her away.
Let me see. There they are.
Yeah.
There's my pretty bruises.
And then after I pushed her, she slapped me and it hurt. It knocked my brain out. And
I didn't hit you that hard.
Like right there.
You're lying. That is not.
She went and grabbed a knife and cut my neck.
No,
there was no knife.
I slapped him.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to hit him hard, but I decided I was just going to slap him. And I slapped him across the face.
Yeah.
And then he came after me and he was like, hit me again. Hit me again. Hit me again. And I didn't. Now at this point, I was getting ready to call the police. I had my phone. I was getting ready to call the police. And what does Timmy do?
She reaches and lunges and tries to rip the phone out of Tristine's hands. Which then upset her.
Because
She gets
then
involved.
what she did is she knocked the phone out of my hand and grabbed it from me.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, give me my phone. And she's going, no, no, no. And she's putting it behind her back as I'm trying to get my phone back. She's going, no, no, no. And she's playing this game with me. And at this point, I finally just ripped it out of her hand. And you have to understand, Timmy. She fell.
Yeah.
Timmy's very dramatic.
The
Please tell them how dramatic she is so I don't sound crazy.
my mother's 64 years old, and she's.
But according to
really-
the cops, she's 80.
Yeah, no, she's really, really super thin because of her health. She literally cannot stand.
But that's
Balanced.
not because of her health. It's because
No.
she doesn't eat.
Right? Yeah, she can't be balanced.
Because don't make
and
it sound like...
stand.
Because then it sounds like I was, like, attacking an elderly woman who's
and that's
sickly.
And technically that's not what happened.
According to her, though, that's exactly what happened.
My mother could lose her balance if you just blew on her.
And that's true because she lost
is
her...
true.
She actually fell when
Yeah.
you were... I don't know if you know this. The first night that she moved in, she fell off the bed. Because she couldn't find the edge of the bed. She kind of flew herself back because she's also very dramatic.
Yeah, and she is.
Very dramatic.
She is.
Like, she'll take everything
very
and
dramatic.
multiply it by, like, 9,000 to where everyone's going, come on. So when I took the phone, she did fall, but she purposely, like, threw herself back. And she landed on her butt and stayed there forever.
Right.
Which
Which I saw and I couldn't stand, so I tackled Tristine
tackled me.
and right onto the
Which
couch.
is why I have a neck ache, because he, like, twisted my neck around, took my arm around, and literally threw me onto the sofa.
Right.
And Tavin's watching all of this.
Yeah.
Now at this point, I have my phone, so I call the cops, and Jared says, let's get out of here, Mom. She's calling the cops. Let's go. And he's gone. He's, like,
Well,
gone, and
I
she's
left
in here,
because-
like, diddle-dallying around.
I had been screaming at her, get to the car, let's go, we gotta go, and she's like, okay, well, real quick, let me get this, okay, but real quick. And I'm like, at that moment, no, there is no okay, but real quick.
The cops are coming.
The cops are coming.
He's like, the cops are coming.
Yeah. So I left.